Michael Avatar here. People hate questions. Seriously, people hate questions. That's the subject of today's live streaming from Thailand. I'm Michael Avatar and was born in Sweden. People hate questions. Seriously, when you have called for help, government companies, they want you to give a survey to answer a few questions that will help their company, whatever. People hate it. Seriously, I hate it. Everybody hates it. Why do we hate questions? Because questions is the hot spot. You get in a hot spot. You have to kind of tell something that you really don't want to tell people. But that's why we hate people. But the other thing is, question is in a, I don't know which part of the brain, but it's a part of the brain more logical, and you can't really you have to answer. So we get frustrated and so on. If you tell stories, or if you point out something, the brain swallow it straight away without questions. That's very interesting. So when I say people hate questions, the brain swallow, yes, they do. It's like there is no conflict. Another thing is that as a life coach and business coach, many coaches, they only ask question, and they don't really give not advice, but it's very complicated to not ask questions when you work as a life and business coach. So what I do, I use my knowledge about people I have met over the years. I use my own knowledge, so I tell stories in I perspective. I am doing this, or I did this when I was 15 years old, and then this is the way I did it. So by talking in personal stories, personal experience, you trigger a different part of the brain. And that part means that the person listening, they listen more intensive because it's personal experience, and they just swallow the whole story. So I had people 2-3 days ago, I was talking to them, and I asked some questions because I wanted to understand how the world was implemented in her life. And he couldn't answer. It was totally blank. So then I started telling a story. I said to her, this morning I woke up and I figure out this thing in my life. And that means that this happened because I could do a search on the internet and I find out that I, it was totally new knowledge. And then she started talking. Yeah, I had the same experience, and blah, 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 blah. And she talked for half an hour. So by telling a story from my world and not the question to her world, because I wanted her to explain her daily life. And that's quite more complicated to answer than if I talk about my experience the other day and what I discover, and they have similar stories, similar way. So that trigger a totally different part of the brain, and it's much more easy to communicate with people. I don't know what you think about this. Do you hate questions? Do you do you hate service? Do you hate when your mom or father call you and say, "How is love? What are you doing?" You don't really want to say to them what you're doing. You don't really want to hide what you're doing, but you don't want to be explaining things in your ordinary life. That's why we hate questions. So, this was my short video today. Only 7 minutes, but I hope you get some input in how to conquer when you talk to people. Don't ask questions. Tell us if you want to know something about people. Tell them a small story, what you experienced, and then they will connect and they will tell, hopefully, their point of what they experience from your story. Simple as that. I hope you enjoyed this movie. Tomorrow is the 77 video, and the subject for tomorrow is number 7, the magic number 7. On the day 77 live broadcast from Michael Avatar. Take care. I see you tomorrow.